Welcome to the U.S. Virgin Islands National Park. We're wrapping up our trip to the Virgin Islands, and I wanted to give you a few tips that'll help you plan your trip. Before we get started, make sure if it's your first time here to click subscribe. I am on a journey to every national park in the U.S. This is just number 3. Walk isn't very glamorous, but I think it'll be worth it. We're pretty excited because today we're headed to the ferry and then over to the island of St. John to explore the national parks. Courtney joined me in Florida on this big adventure. We decided we would just take the opportunity to fly from Miami over to the Virgin Islands. So this is the first tricky one to get to that I get to mark off the list. Just got off the ferry from St. Thomas where we're staying, and we walked over across Cruz Bay to get here to the U.S. Virgin Islands National Park. This is a really tough one. We have to spend all day at the beach. It's just how it's gonna be. But this morning we walked to the ferry, which was really cool. The ferry ride was absolutely gorgeous. Can't wait to check out this national park. Very small visitor center here. They have the actual visitor center building, has information on the history of the island and all of that fun stuff, and then the bookstore where you can get your stamp. Trunk Bay is definitely the beach that we're aiming for today. It is part of the national park, and they even have an underwater trail. So we're hoping to be able to explore that while we're here. We've officially made it to Trunk Bay. They have 2 coral reefs that are pretty shallow all around this rock here. One of them even has an underwater trail, which I have to say is one of the most unique trails of the national parks. The taxi drive here was so cool because it kept opening up to the bay. And now to be here in these crystal blue waters with the white sands, Courtney and I can't stop taking pictures of all of this. It is so cool. We are gonna go for a swim, enjoy this spot, and then later we're gonna snorkel. I've never snorkeled, so it should be pretty interesting, but this is a great place to spend the day. I'm excited to enjoy it. I brought all of my waterproof equipment for the GoPro. I have a floating handle and a waterproof case that should also float. So that means you get to go snorkeling too.
slowly. I think I'm crazy. I think it's crazy. Think I'm slowly. I think I'm crazy.
Crazy. It was so much fun. That was my first time snorkeling. I think we did the whole underwater trail. It's really windy on the beach today, but that does not take away from the beauty or the sun or how much fun we're having. The different colors of buoys mark that underwater trail that we did. Oh, it's such a good day here. Talk about fun in a national park. I know that there are amazing beaches around the world, but this is definitely one of them. Especially for us newbies snorkeling, it was perfect. We're gonna go back to Cruz Bay for dinner and then catch the ferry back over to St. Thomas. Our trip to the Virgin Islands, and I wanted to give you a few tips that'll help you plan your trip. The national park is on the island of St. John. We stayed in St. Thomas and took the ferry over. The closest airport is in St. Thomas, so if you land there, you will have to take the ferry. The ferry costs $8.50 each person each way. You can buy tickets on your phone, and you want to make sure you arrive 15 minutes before the ferry leaves. You need to bring mineral-based sunscreens because all of the chemical sunscreens are really illegal and you can be fined for them. They also harm the coral reefs. You should take advantage of all the things at your hotel or your Airbnb. Our Airbnb had the snorkeling equipment, so taking that saved us money on a rental, and it was a great way to try it for the first time. A lot of people do rent cars here in the Virgin Islands. We did not. It is crazy how hilly it is. You also drive on the other side of the road, and you have to figure out where to park. Walking around the islands isn't very easy. There's not a lot of sidewalks, so if you're gonna try it, make sure you wear tennis shoes. Remember that the cars are going in the opposite direction so that you don't like step out into traffic, and just be super careful. So much easier just to pay a few dollars and get a taxi wherever you're going. You do need to bring cash for taxis. Short taxi rides are anywhere from $4 to $8 per person. And then from the airport, it was $15 per person plus $4 for luggage and $2 for small bags. The taxis are located right outside of the ferry terminal. They know exactly when that ferry's gonna arrive, and they're ready to take you places. While you're here, you're definitely gonna wanna check out a lot of different beaches. All of the beaches we've been to have had a snack bar and drinks. Plan to pay anywhere from $8 to $12 for a drink at the beach. Beach bars and restaurants here have all taken credit card, but you still want to have that cash on hand for that taxi ride home. You should definitely check out both dive bars and nice restaurants. The beach bar in St. John's was one of our favorite because you could both see the ferry terminal and the sunset. They also had a pretty good happy hour. When you're visiting the national park, the visitor center isn't a lot to look at. Remember that you're going there to either hike trails or check out all the beaches. And I definitely recommend checking out all of those beaches. The taxis do go to all of the beaches, so if you want to jump back and forth. When we got off the taxi, I asked if there would be taxis later in the day, and he said till about 6. But when we left the beach around 4:30, all of the taxis were already gone, so luckily we just waved one down as it passed on the road. Us and about 4 other people jumped in, and the taxi driver wasn't very happy that we didn't arrange how to get back to the ferry, but he was happy to pick us up and take our money for the ride. Should be pretty good. Just plan ahead, take a little extra cash, and make sure you have that sunscreen, and you'll have a great time. Hopefully you enjoyed this trip to the Virgin Islands. I am headed to Florida for the next national park.